All right. This is the next video in a series that I'm calling 5 New Technologies. This next tool that I have to show you is a little different than the first one, Headspace. This next tool is called Coggle. Now this I would see, this is going to appear more of an academic tool, more of an educational tool, if you, as it were, whatever that means. So the place that you would access it is Coggle.it. And it can have a variety of purposes. It can be used for collaborative brainstorming. It can be used for mind mapping, which can be in terms of social emotional skills as well as thought processing, as well as reviewing and recalling prior knowledge, reviewing for exams. Sky's the limit in terms of that. It could be used as a graphic organizer for note taking, differentiating for visual students that are wanting to take notes in a different way. And something that I didn't put here, it also could be used to have some guided discussion, like thinking specifically in like an ELA class. So this was going to be targeted specifically for teachers and administrators for either teacher use and student consumption or student use and teacher collaboration. Standards, again, that are going to apply to most of these are ISTEL for educational leaders, 3.2a and 3.3b. So let's take a look at Coggle. Now, Coggle is free to use. There are paid versions, but it is free to use. So all you need to do is go in, and it's got single sign-on with Google, which makes it very easy. So I log in, and the first thing that I'm seeing it's going to ask me is a few questions of what best describes me. We'll go with teacher for now. Now you'll want to play around with a little bit about this to get used to just all it can do. There's quite a bit of potential here. But I'm going to create my first diagram, which is generally what Coggle calls them. And I'm going to pick a title. In this case, I'm going to pick a title, let's say Spanish 1. So let's say I had a bunch of students in Spanish 2 or 3, and I'm trying to kind of activate some of that prior knowledge and create some review materials for students that may be further behind, or just sort of start the year with a review, but in a way that's more active, that gets students more involved and isn't just the teacher kind of droning on. So these little plus buttons are what you can use to create branches off of this. And so if I click on this, I can now add something connected to Spanish 1, which is my initial topic. Now I can type in anything I want. Let's say numbers, use numbers 1 through 10. Or even just use numbers. I could leave it at that. I can also move it anywhere I want. So as this gets bigger and bigger, which you'll see as it expands, I can start readjusting as I need, but let's keep it here for now. But if I re-click on it, I also can do a few things. I can edit, now this is part of the upgrade, but I can edit the formatting of it. I could upload an image, so if I happen to have an image of the numbers 1 through 10 and their translations into Spanish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could add that here. So let's actually just go find one. Spanish numbers 1 through 10 image, and go to image search and find a good image that I like. Oh, let's see. I'll go with, I don't know. This one looks fun. We'll use this one. So I'll just go ahead and save this image. Save image as numbers 1 through 10. Save. And I go back to my mind map. Oh, here we go. And just add that same picture. I'll go to recents actually. And it's on my desktop. Did I save my desktop? I don't think so. Should be downloaded. Numbers and Spanish numbers. Well, here's another Spanish numbers thing that I have because, well, that's a thing I have as a teacher. If I were to that. Now my image shows up right next to it. You can do this for links to different websites. So let's say I had a website that I knew could help me practice pronunciation, which is something that you often will learn in a class like that. I could add something like this and add a title, and there. Now it'll have a little link here for me. I can even just click right to it. So, really useful tool. You can see some of the applications. You can create multiple layers of these. So every time you have something, you can add to it. So I can connect maybe numbers. Maybe háblame I wanted to put like over here somewhere. I can always move it. So, yeah, play with it. It's a fun tool.